3D Rising is here in Washington, D.C. At the Catholic University, where St. Ignatius Prep out of California just fell 12-9 to Gonzaga. But what shouldn't be lost on this was this team had an amazing week coming from the West Coast and playing these East Coast monsters. We're talking to head coach Chris Packard, who's from Long Island and played at Cornell University. Coach, I know it's a tough loss, but congrats on the week. Just tell us about today and maybe what was the difference today as you faced a really good Gonzaga team.
Well, credit to Gonzaga. I think they're a phenomenal team, really well coached and very talented. I think it's a classic case of you can't dig yourself a hole like that against an opponent of that caliber, and getting down like that 8-3 just was a big hole to dig ourselves out of. We were fighting tooth and nail to the end, and I'm proud of the guys for the determination and the grit that they showed, but Gonzaga proved to be the superior team today.
A 12-9 loss paired with an exciting win over Landon just a couple days ago. Most would consider that a pretty successful trip for a West Coast team coming from San Francisco to the Mid-Atlantic. Just reflect on the last couple of days, the emotion of that win, and the confidence that it gives you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I just am happy for those kids. They work so hard and they build this trip up all year long, and for them to see the success and to actually beat an opponent of that caliber, I think just proves how hardworking and dedicated they are to the sport. And I gotta say I'm happy for them. I don't think anyone came back here from St. Ignatius not expecting to win. We wouldn't do it if we were trying to lay down against an opponent. But I'm pleased with the effort. I'm fired up about the fact that they were successful in a game. But they're equally as disappointed with the way they played in the first half today and the outcome of today's game.
You're from Long Island, and you now coach on the West Coast in California, so you have a unique perspective. Talk about what that win, not to belabor it, but to look at that win and what that means for West Coast lacrosse in general. Many consider that, an historic win in the big scheme of things.
Yeah, I'm really happy for California. I'm happy for our region and ultimately for St. Ignatius College Prep. I think that's a big win and a statement type win. I will say, having coached for nearly 15 years, it's not surprising to me. The caliber of player out there that you're seeing in the college ranks and the types of teams who are coached by guys who've played the game at the highest level just lends itself to teams that are going to be able to compete nationally. And I think, sort of athletically, we can go toe-to-toe with most teams. And quite frankly, I don't even know if we're the best team in California. We haven't played some teams from down south who are mopping people up. So I think there is certainly going to be a rejiggering of how people think about national rankings, because there are quite a few teams from the West Coast who can compete up and down the eastern seaboard. So I'm happy, I'm really proud. I do think it changes the complexion of things, but I am not surprised.
Heading back to California, what do you take from this trip and what you guys can do to be better, to be where you want to be at the end of the year?
Yeah, it's nice to see the pace of the game played as quickly as it is, and the skill level. I think our guys, pride themselves on having good lax IQ and good skill. And you come out here and you watch 22 from Gonzaga and 8 from Landon and 4, and those guys sort of move the ball around, and you understand what the real players look like. So I think certainly for our younger guys, being able to steal a page and watch that live helps them in the future. And then, for some of the guys who are going on to play in college, just to understand the caliber of player that goes on and is successful at the college level should be really helpful. And then from a team perspective, I just think you have to understand, or we have to understand, that you can't dig yourselves a hole like that. You got to press the accelerator for 4 quarters, and you got to be able to compete on every single play. And I don't think we did that to the best of our ability early in the game. So we'll take the second half and bottle that one up and try to keep it, and we'll wipe the slate clean with the first half, and we'll improve, certainly.
Coach Packard, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.